Must be something heaven. Love. Oh my, this feels so good. High on my, the sky underneath my feet. It never looked so good. I keep it up, stay fucked up, that's my mood. Oh my euphoria. Pretty close to heaven now. Moments of euphoria. I am never coming down. Oh my, this time I'ma keep it gonna stay fucked up, feel so good. High on my, the sky underneath my feet. It never looked so good. Oh my, that's right. I'ma keep it up, stay fucked up, that's my mood. Oh my euphoria.
Hello everyone. We're starting in a few minutes, so get ready. We join in game or just here? Abdo said. No, you can be here and join in game as well, because Black is going to do a game presentation of Hunters of Faenora, and then we'll see. So please, Black, join the stage when you're able to. Oh, there you go.
Okay, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And everyone else? Telling
Hello,
the
hello. Can you hear me?
yes.
Hello.
Hello. You hear me, Black? Okay, Flare is here as well.
Here as well.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, perfect.
I hear my
I
myself.
hear myself.
Okay, what about now?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, I hear myself.
Yeah, I
but
hear myself.
Anyways,
But
I think
anyways,
we can
I think we can
start.
start.
I'll mute myself.
I'll
So
mute myself so
you don't hear me double.
you don't hear me double.
And feel free
And
to share
feel free
screen
to
as well.
share screen as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm switching my output device. So. Okay, what about now? You probably shouldn't hear yourself. Hello, hello. Again, sorry for the difficulties. Not too sure what's going on, but I will share my screen in a second after I log in. But yeah, excited to be here. Realistically, just show you the game, answer any questions, drop any alpha, anything along those lines. So, one moment as the game loads up, and then I will get everything ready. But the game's free to play. Definitely feel free to play along as we're going through this. And then, like I said, I can answer any and all questions.
Awesome. Sounds cool. So a little bit of intro, guys. Black is one of the developers of Hunters of Faenora, and yeah, he's going to explain the game to us, and then after we'll create a task for you guys to earn points as well, and yeah, enjoy the game as well, because the game is looking very good, and it's a web browser game, so everyone can play it. You can play it while waiting for the bus, for the train, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the exciting things, we are going to be on the Seeker here shortly, and we're going to be on the PG1. So if you have an Android device, we will be on mobile relatively shortly here. So perfect time to tune in. And we're just loading up here.
And yeah, thank you for being here, Abdo, Angels, Viking, Cinta, Flero, and some guys are missing today, like Antilu, Lewon, but I guess they'll join in a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not too sure if I can share links, but if you could share our business development deck while this is loading up, that will give them something to chew on, and then they'll have some questions. But yeah, man, it's super exciting. Exciting. We love to host at least one game night every week where we go in, we show everything about the game, we answer all the hard questions, and then from there we do give out some codes that have some goodies in there. So if you do end up playing the game and liking it, you'll get a little bit of an advantage over people who haven't shown up to game nights. So
Cool. That's pretty cool. About the link, you can send me the link on Telegram, and I'll share the link here on Discord.
perfect. Sending that over now. There you go.
Okay. Here's the deck, guys. So, do you want me to share a screen, or can you at the end?
Yeah, I'll be sharing it shortly.
Okay.
Just loading it up. Don't want to expose anything from my end. I just like to be a little bit safe in security. would say a couple minutes, but I can give you some background on me and then the studio. So, my name is Deshaun Baylock. I used to be a professional Magic the Gathering player. So on the game side, that is, where I started to get my chops. Then went to the board game industry, got to work on Magic the Gathering card sets, got to work on Gloomhaven, got to work on Frosthaven, and a whole bunch of other games doing like world creation, balance creation, and things of that nature. So that's my background on the game side, and then on the technical side, the company side, just worked in the tech space for a while. Been head of sales, director of sales, things like that, and that's allowed me to really align on the business side of everything for our studio. So, 2TG Studio is a studio that simply makes games with blockchain to make them better. Every game we make will have a crypto version and a non-crypto version. We have those completely separate, so people can then decide how they actually want to interact with our games. So that is the quick synopsis. We are fully self-funded. We've taken no VC dollars, and the way we set up the game is we actually live off the fees. So we're doing this crazy experiments to see if it is possible.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. Like, and how is it going so far?
Oh man, honestly, it's been pretty good. Everyone in the world has been talking about gaming's been straight down. For us, we've probably done, I would say, 200K in volume over the last month and a half through all of our collections and through our token swap.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing pretty good on that front. We've had probably 13,000 people try the game. We have 20,000 Steam wish lists on our.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we haven't really done any marketing, so we're just ground roots in it. We're going guild to guild, doing game night to game night, and from there, that's how we've been building our audience. So we're not too big on going out and spending a bunch of money on things that won't convert,
Mhm.
but we
Yeah.
are pretty big on showing up to every game night we can, and explaining the game and
Okay.
playing it.
That's pretty awesome. Congrats on that, and I'm sure you have all these successfulness because you're doing the things right. So congrats.
Hey, we appreciate that. And it looks like it just went to the loading scene, so this should be coming in here shortly. And then I'll log in with my email and then jump right in. But while this is loading up, any questions from anyone on your end?
Yeah, feel free to write it down on the chat, guys. I know Viking, you were writing, so it's your time to make it, any question if you have one. Okay. Okay, so far, no one. I have a question though. So I was playing the game, and I was playing with the free version, right? And when it felt like a roguelike at the beginning, or it has roguelike elements, or am I wrong? Because I was playing, and my squad got beaten up, and then I lost my squad. And I guess the only mode to keep your squad is leveling up your like the different characters, so your characters get stronger, and maybe at the end they will stay in your squad. Is that the mechanic, or am I wrong?
Pretty close. So the way it's actually set up is for the free to play side, it is a roguelike where you're supposed to level them up, you're supposed to get their skills, and then that stays on your account. To keep your party, that's where you need NFTs. So we have multiple levels of NFTs. We have villagers, we have mercenaries, and then we have heroes, which are the top people in the universe. So if you have NFTs, your party stays the same and you don't want to die. But if you're playing free to play, that's more the cozy version where nothing matters. You get to level up your skills, you get to learn a little bit. So then that way, when you do go in with NFTs, you're able to be and you don't die. So your NFTs, if you die, there's a punishment. For recruits, if you die, there is no punishment.
Mm-hmm. I see. All right.
Got it. Okay. So we are logged in, and now I will share. Here we go. Here we go. So one thing about the game, we have beautiful sound. Our sound is done by our in-house team, and then also the guy who did the sound for Horizon Zero Dawn. So we seen him at Gamescom. He loved what we were building, and from there he actually said, "Hey, I need to work with the guys," and we got him in. So this right here is a little bit further in the game. This is like a mini boss fight, but this is the behemoth. So again, there's two ways this game works. It's free to play, and then it is non-free to play. All of our rewards are gated behind the non-free to play. So this way, you can play the game as much as you want, but if you want rewards, you're gonna have to put some skin in the game. So that is where we're at. So I will start playing. I'll be doing some moves. I can't see the Discord screen, so I'll be relying on you guys to really, any questions, please read them out or get those over to me so that way I can keep the stream going. But yeah, I will do some fights. I'll show you what's going on. I'll run through some things. Oh, okay, that's no good. But yeah, this is really the style of the game. It is roguelike, but with NFTs, you shouldn't die. Yeah, like I said, we got beautiful, gorgeous music. I don't want to blow you guys' ears out, but just wanted to show. Got it. Yeah, so I'll go ahead. I'll show you that. The way the game's set up is, if you've ever played D&D or Gloomhaven, when you die, you need to then go and revive it at the inn or things of that nature. So you can't revive for free. That is kind of the engine in the economy. So we have this whole world set up where everything costs Muchi tokens, which is what you get in your payout. And then we have USDC that we pay out for bounties and then seasonal rewards. So yeah, NFTs, you don't want them to die. You would rather run from a fight than have them die. And that's the way we have the game set up. So it's pretty hardcore, but I think we have 140 people playing, and everyone's enjoying it. And we think this is the way that a risk to earn game of this style has to work. So that's why we don't have it to where you can just spam the game and get rewards. You actually have to be skilled. But yeah, after this fight, I'll show you what's going on in the end, and then run through a fight, and then talk through everything in town. Alrighty. Oh, yeah, we did have a small version of this a little bit back. So it's been a while coming, but now we are out. We've launched, and people are playing and loving it. So this right here are all NFT characters. The way the game is set up is every run your items are going to leave unless you make them permanent. And then if your NFTs die, again, you have to revive them. So just like Dungeons and Dragons or anything. You come in here, you get swords, you get items, they have skills, kind of that Diablo Baldur's Gate system that you're really used to. And the way the game is set up is everything is permanent. So when you take damage, you need to heal it unless you go back to town. But this isn't something where you just get to play willy-nilly and get resources. So I'll show you guys everything in town. Alrighty, so this is our town. This is where basically everything happens. The barracks is where you can then, all right, here, let me just do a quick little connect here. Perfect. I'll jump into the leaderboard. This right here breaks down all of our players who are playing and then how many nether talents they earned. You get nether talents by beating 4 bosses, and then from that you get your weekly payouts that are, kind of that whole risk to earn, play to earn factor. If you have an NFT and you died, you would need to come to the inn. That is where you would go. And from there, once you go in there, you are able to revive your characters, you're able to heal your characters. Everything in this universe costs Muchi tokens. And from that, then you would be able to get back into the fight. So let's say while I connect, obviously we have our connects. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, if you come in here, you can come to the inn. If someone's dead, you can revive them, or if they don't have stamina, then you can give them their stamina back. So that is the baseline. One of the cool things about our game is we're the first isometric game, whether it be in crypto or not, to where you can change the cosmetics and it immediately updates your NFT. So anything you do here changes their outfit. You can change their hair. You can, add in all these cool traits. And as you play the game, you can unlock traits and things of that nature. I don't want to change my NFT, but that is what you would be able to do there. And then our financier. This is basically where we have staking and your value. And the way the game's set up is if you stake, you don't have to play. You get part of the rewards pool. But if you play, then you have a chance of getting a bigger chunk of the rewards pool. So we made a completely closed loop economy that there is no way to realistically, kind of rip it off. So that is kind of the base of the town. This right here is the perks. Basically, you come in, you can do power-ups for each run that cost a little bit, or you can switch to no perk. For me, I like to always start off with the chest. And when we do that, we get some items to start off our runs. So, again, these aren't permanent. You can use it for this run. They'll leave unless you make them permanent. But yeah, that's everything that happens at the town. Now these are all the fights. Basically, the game is set up in 5 levels, and it gets harder each level. And that's the baseline of the game. So I'll go ahead. I'll start doing some fights. Letting the game kind of play a little bit, explain everything as we go along. But any questions? I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Yeah, so we're on Solana. So all of our NFTs live on Solana. So you can use any wallet that can, hold Solana assets. If you don't have NFTs, then you don't need to connect the wallet. Then you can just play for fun. Yeah, so basically the way it's set up is you can get common weapons, you can get rare weapons, you can get epic weapons, and you can get legendary. Each one of the weapons in the game, they have those four things you can have them categorized as. And obviously, the better they are, the better their skills are. So that's just a power ranking system, so you can look at it and see what type of item it is, how strong it is. So they just stay dead. So the way it works is if someone dies and you don't have money to revive them, you can stake them for a season and they would come back to life for the next season. But outside of that, then you would need to revive them. So yeah, you never want to die with your NFTs. The way the game's set up is you can run in between each fight, but you never really want to take on a fight that is too hard for you. Oh yeah, it's it's a roguelike, right? We have people who put in 100, 150 hours, um, and they're at the third floor. This is a roguelike MMO that's going to be a live service game for 18 to 24 months. So we have all that content planned out. So yeah, you that sounds about right. You shouldn't be making it far at all with 5 runs. I would say they've beat the second boss. So the way the game is set up is you can come into it with 6 NFTs or you can come into it with 1 NFT. And when you kill a boss, you get another talent based off of the amount of NFTs in your party. So that is the way how we structure and how it scales. So if you show up with 1 NFT, you would play with 5 free to play characters and then 1 NFT. So you never really have to make too big of an investment, but if you do, then that's how you get more rewards, and that's why it's a risk to earn environment. Absolutely. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, any other questions? If people are just watching along, I'll turn on some sound, and then as you have them, you can ask. But that's basically what I'm here for: is to be interactive. You can play along the free to play. I just basically show you the ropes and answer any questions and drop alpha like mobile coming soon. Yes, so every character in the game can either be free to play or an NFT. If they're NFTs, then they retain all of their stats permanently forever. If they're free to play, you play with them, and then when you leave the run, you need a new set. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, just like Final Fantasy Tactics, just like those long, big, epic games. It's the same thing. You can't just start in with no items and expect to be able to beat the boss. You got to really grind up to it. So let's see here. Yeah, this is the floor boss. So for me, I'm probably strong enough to get to the third boss, but I can't beat him. Even though I've been playing for at least 100 hours on this account, there's other people who've been playing much longer, and they've beat it, but it comes at cost of a death. And for me, I don't play too risky because I don't want to, pay too much to revive. So you have to really decide your appetite here. Yep. So the way it works is between each stage you have the option to run, or what I like to do and what you can do, it costs Muchi, is at the Nether shop you get an escape portal, and that lets you run in fights as long as you bring that item into the fight with you. So if you don't have it in your inventory, then you can't run, but that's why every fight's a risk. So the game is pretty hardcore, but the reason we're doing that is we have really hardcore rewards. So it's only going to the best guilds, the best players. I think we've given out $34,000 in rewards over our first month and a half over our preseason, and then about 6K of that is USDC. So the way the economy works is 90% of everything that's spent in the game goes back to the reward pool, and then 10% comes to the team so we can run the game. So we built the game, we put it out there. It's kind of crazy. Could we have charged a lot more for it? Sure. But now everything's out of our control, right? We put it out there, people can play it, and then we have missions that happen every week that dictate, if we sell NFTs or open it up, but we never control the supply. We just say, hey, this is the supply. If you guys want more, you can mint it. If not, this is what it is. So everything that costs has a cost. We've had our heroes sell for about $1,200. We've had some heroes sell for $600. We've had some legendaries sell for $400, $300. So the game is it's really taken off. It's exciting to see. I mean, we don't have any plans for that. We are a indie game studio that put quite a bit of money into it, and this is not a farming game. This is not an auto play game. If you played on auto play, you will die and you will lose all your money. This is game first, right? We're going for that game experience. So we're not trying to set it up to where you can just speed run through it. And if you try that, you will die. So we don't have any plans. We hire the best animators in the world. We hire literally the best we can, so that way we can make the best game. That's what we're here for, and that's why we have publishers reaching out to us to publish our game, because we're doing it as a game and not just a DeFi farm. We let people know we're a game studio first. Every game we're making will have crypto and non-crypto, and that's the way we approach it. So we're always going to err on the side of the game feel over anything else. No, so the way we have our studio set up is we're going to have a crypto game and a non-crypto game of every version. So right now our Steam game, we have like 20K Steam wish list for people who haven't, I don't know how they found us, But if you go to YouTube and you put in, you know, Wildlands, which is our sister title, we have over 1 million UGC views of people just playing our demo, posting about it, talking about how excited they are, and it's all the like top JRPG players in the world. So that's why we're not doing marketing, is because we are a very particular game, and if you like this style of game, it makes sense. But most people aren't interested. But for the ones that are, this is the perfect game. So that's why we do this. We come in, we'll talk to 10 people any time of the day. If you guys like the game, go ahead, join our community. If not, we understand, and there's people out there who do. So it's going to be a one-time purchase, just like a normal game. So it's probably going to range from $20 to $30, and then you play. There's no NFTs or anything in that version. And this version mirrors that game, but this is the one with NFTs. So we keep it completely separate. You know, we have seen people try to onboard, you know, non-crypto gamers. We're not here to save the space. We're here to have the best game, the best community, and that leans towards being separate. So we're not trying to get, you know, 10,000 people. We're happy with 500 to 1,000 people playing the game and having fun. You know, everything's going well with 130. So now it's time to take that next step. Exactly that, right? You know, when we stream, usually we'll get one or two person who'll come in, they'll buy a mercenary, they'll play the game, they're like, oh man, I really like this, and the next week, you know, they've dropped $1,000 or $2,000. So you can play this game as a whale, or you can play this game as a single user, to where you have villagers, you're able to play, you're able to earn, you are more dependent on your items, but you still get that same experience. So we have entry points for everyone, and that's why we believe, you know, once we start our season, we're going to be in a, you know, a really good spot, because people are loving the game. Now it's time for us to actually open it up. You know, we've been really controlled with our alpha, making sure the economy works, all the swaps work, and now we're at that spot where we believe we have everything set up, so we can actually take on more customers and gamers and people in the community. Yeah, absolutely. So that is our premium in-game currency. So there's fights that pop up that are a little bit harder. They're called Nether Beasts. And when you see those, you can fight them. And if you kill them, you get Nether Shards. With Nether Shards, you're able to buy cool power-ups like this. So the dojo is where you go to take a maiden or a squire to the next class. And then the treasure map, you know, if you're looking for some treasure, this allows you to do that, and then that gives you item for your run so you can be stronger. So yeah, that's the only use for them now, but there's plenty of uses coming down the line. So on the free to play side, you can actually farm those up until you want to, you know, kind of jump into the economy, and you know, down the line you may be able to buy some chests, which then has items that you may be able to sell. But as of now, there's no way to free to play your way into the economy. That is correct. So the way it's set up is, once you make any change on your NFT, that is permanent until you change it. So this is our matrix. These are the characters that are available now. If you have a maiden, you can take it to an archer, a witch, or a cleric. If you have a squire, you can take it to a knight or a fighter now, and then a thief's coming. But then if you look on the outside, those are our next tier of characters that are coming. So yeah, like I said, we got a lot planned. This is just a start. We're still in our preseason. And we've been doing extremely well by the numbers, and we don't see it slowing down anytime. So, yeah, man, we definitely appreciate you guys welcoming us in. But yeah, we've been just going around to guilds and doing this and getting 3 to 4 players per time, and now everyone's coming in. And the huge story of the Faenora verse is really simple. It's every player versus the Faenora verse. So it's like a campaign that changes week to week and day to day. So that's realistically the full story, the full game. And right now I'm gonna take on a boss who actually has a chance of killing some of my people, so I'm gonna take it a little bit more serious. So for items, the way it's set up is to use an item, you need to carry it into the round, and right now you can only carry 3 items into a fight. Let's get these fighters charged up. And yeah, the game is so deep. There's so much more I can go into, but this is a good baseline description. And you know, if you're looking for a little bit more, our X community is for our free-to-play players, and then our Discord is gated by if you have an NFT or 2,500 Muchi tokens, and then from there, everyone's super helpful. You know, we hang out all day. Any question you ask, it will get answered. All right. Absolutely, man. You know, that's typically how it happens. You know, we'll get 1 or 2 people who jump in, they enjoy it. Then, you know, next week we'll see them in the Discord. So, yeah, I would say if you're looking to play, you know, right now is the perfect time to come in, learn the game, get your characters strong, because in season 1 we're gonna have at least $2,000 or more for our first 45 days USDC, and then every week we have a bounty where the realm can win up to $600. So we're giving out 4 or 5K per season on top of the rewards of the economy. So it's super crazy. People are playing extremely heavy, but if you want to support, you can buy and stake, and from there you earn from the economy as well. So everything that gets spent, 50% goes to the stakers, the other portion then goes to the active players. Yeah, so what I always recommend is if you're new to the game, you want to come in and you want to play that free-to-play loop until you learn the attack patterns, and usually you want to get your characters to level 3. The reason for that is you unlock their skills. They have a passive skill, and then they have another skill that they learn, their second skill. All that happens from just playing, getting your reps in, and then from there, that's when I recommend going to the NFT. But if you go to our website, we have our game guide on there, and it explains everything to a T. Exactly. That's exactly it, you know. We don't want anyone getting into anything they're not sure about. So that's why we set the game up this way, because the game's brutal, but it has to be that way to keep everyone engaged and keep the economy intact. So yeah, if the game's for you, jump in. If not, we understand. Enjoy the free to play, hang around, support the studio, and then we'll have a $25 to $30 game. It's going to be this full experience with no crypto. So we got something for everyone. Don't feel any pressure about anything. Or there is a healing spring. So if you get a healing spring, then you're able to revive and heal. So, sometimes your character will die on stage 3, but if you keep playing, you'll find a healing spring, and then you can revive them for free. You only have to pay to revive if you don't have an item to bring them back, and then you go back to town or you don't hit a healing spring. So there are ways to, revive for free. You just need to find them. And then, we have a shop where you can come in here and buy items for your runs. Fin is just gold that comes with you, and then it leaves at every stage. And for me, I'll try to get to a healing spring so you guys can see it. Alrighty. So I'll drop this on auto for this fight. But any other questions? I'm happy to hang out, get these answered. Yeah, no, Final Fantasy is one of my favorite games of all time. So I definitely understand. We took, inspiration from, I would say, Final Fantasy Tactics, Ogre Battle 64, from Slay the Spire, all of our cool games, D&D, Gloomhaven, all those games. We took inspiration and then put it together. So, yeah, that's what it's about. So this right here is are Healing Spree. So there's two things you can do. You can come in here and you can heal your full party, or if someone is dead, you can revive them. But these are the only way to revive people in items without paying. And then if you go to town with them, then that NFT will stay dead unless you pay. Or you can re-roll them. What re-rolling is, this is the main mechanism of the game. So if someone dies and their healing cost gets too high, then you can come into the barracks. And with every NFT you have, it's basically a gotcha element. You can roll any of the characters in the game besides the heroes. They all have a percentage, and each reroll costs a certain amount, but you're able to reroll any NFT. Or if you just buy tokens off the market, you can hire a mercenary for 10K and you would get a random character, and then it's able to play in the game. So the cool thing about our game is you can go token to NFT back and forth as much as you want. If someone dies and you don't want to revive them or you don't like the character, for a small cost, you can restart that character and then you can get back to playing. So that right there is the full economy. It's just USDC and tokens, but you know, the only way to win is to be the best, right? It's a linear competition. So that means it's based off of how many nether talents you get. And that all comes from being able to beat the bosses. So if you don't beat the bosses and you're not good, you're not going to win. The other option is you can just stake. If you just stake your NFTs, then you're automatically winning, but you don't have that upside of, you know, winning the most. So as you can see, we have one person who's way out ahead. You know, that's a lot of gaming. And then everyone else kind of in that same bracket. But the way it works is it goes down to the top 35 players. If you earn any nether talents, then you get part of the rewards pool, but it's all proportionate to everyone else and what they did. Yeah, so our Discord, we do have a closed Discord. So that is if you have an NFT, you can jump in. But if you have any questions on X, we have our open community. So you can post there. We'll get it answered for you. But we do have a closed Discord. You know, it's us versus the world. You know, we don't care. You know, the opinions of people who aren't playing the game and don't know what's going on. That's not what we're here for. And yeah, I'll send over the code. Basically, what the code is it gives you in-game items. So if you do play with your NFTs, then you get a boost so you can level up quicker. Outside of that, you know, no monetary value. You know, we have enough people who want to play our game that we're not playing players to play our game. Alrighty, folks. Well, hey, if you don't have any more questions, absolutely. So it's going to be available on everything but iOS. So if you have a Seeker, you'll be able to play it on that. If you have a PG1, you'll be able to play it on that. Or if you have an Android, you will be able to play it on that. We're likely not going to make an iOS because they take 30% in, you know, crypto. So that's why we're going to Seeker. But who knows? You know, it might happen. Yeah. The you know, we have it set up. It's just like not fully perfect, but we are actively testing. We submitted our company to, the Seeker team. They love the app. They love the game. So we are going to be on there pretty soon. I can't say too much more than that, but we are the alpha. We are the alpha. We're going to be on the Seeker pretty soon. So stay tuned. Yeah, I mean, in closing, if you're someone who wants to get your feet wet, I recommend just playing free to play to really see if you like the game, and then if so, that's when I would buy an NFT. Don't buy an NFT if you're not really locked in. You're gonna have a bad time, and it's gonna be hard to progress. But the free to play warms you up and lets you know if this is a game for you. Well, hey, thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for your time. I'll send you over the code. You can share it with everyone. Um, all you have to do is go to claim code here and then enter the code there. And then you will be able to claim your rewards. Very simple, very smooth. Absolutely. Thanks so much for your time. Again, I run our X account, so for any questions, you can just ask directly, and I would answer that. So we respond to everything super quick. We're chronically online. So yeah, thanks so much for the time, folks.